All right, welcome back everyone to another one of our QuaranSTREAMs, Answers for COVID-19. As you know, this week we have special Senior Sunday. We're really excited to have on officers from the class councils from our various high schools, in addition to Dr. Francis Ivey, who's our Deputy Superintendent at FCPS, Fairfax County Public Schools, and who's been working really hard to make sure we plan for our seniors in a way that will be special. As always, I'm one of your members at large on the Fairfax County School Board, Abrar Omeish, and I'm joined as usual with...
I'm Kimberly Boateng, the student rep to the school board.
Excellent. So the way things will work today is we're going to provide our FCPS updates as usual. We're going to transition into our senior specific conversation, hear a little bit from Dr. Ivey about how the plans came to be and how we arrived at the various decisions that the school board made this past week. And then we actually have a surprise special guest who is a former FCPS grad who will be addressing our seniors, followed by a fun ending with our senior class councils here. So without further ado, general updates for our county. May is celebrating Nurses Month. In addition, of course, as we said last time, to Mental Health Awareness Month. So be sure to take care of yourself and express gratitude to any nurses that may be in your life, your neighbor, your sibling, your parent. We are so grateful for all the hard work y'all are doing at the front lines during this tough time. It's become very apparent how much we cannot underestimate the contributions y'all have offered. With that, so we remain in a critical situation in Fairfax County. The cases are increasing. So we have so far a total of 7,734 total cases, 253 of those new today. We have 289 of our community members who passed, with over 1,000 who have been hospitalized. The point of saying all that is, as you may have heard from our governor, he has put out a plan to phase out, but that does not apply necessarily to Northern Virginia just yet. So stay home as much as possible. We are continuing to make sure that we stay safe and healthy and that we practice social distancing and cover our faces when we're out there in the world. In addition, FCPS has released 3 options for schools reopening in the fall. We went over those briefly last time. If you're interested in more details, I would encourage you to go to board docs as usual, fcps.edu. You go to the menu, click on school board, and you will see a tab for board docs where you can find the notes and presentations from all of our meetings and learn a little bit more about the details as we consider what's happening in the fall. We did meet multiple times last week in work sessions and in public meetings. Right now, we are finalizing the budget. So those of you who came and spoke at our public hearing on Tuesday, we heard you loud and clear, and the board is continuing to discuss what will be finalized this week as we approve that. So if you're interested in those kinds of things, if you have questions, feel free to ask them in the live Q&A. I'll be happy to address any particular point. But for this week, what's ahead, tomorrow, we're gonna be looking at the advanced academics report, which many of you have been awaiting to see, are we in Fairfax County providing advanced academic services in an equitable fashion, and where can we improve? And then on Thursday, we will have our public meeting to actually approve our budget. It's a really big deal. It's been months of a process, and especially with COVID has changed quite a bit. So stay tuned and make sure you're paying attention. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about that. So with that, I will move to Kimberly to provide us with some updates on food and technology in FCPS.
So as of Friday, May 15th, FCPS has distributed 923,553 meals. A reminder that meal distributions will be taking place as normal on Memorial Day, Monday, the 25th. And also, we said this in the last QuaranSTREAM, but for those in the Saratoga area, you will be getting a stop soon. So be on the look out for that. If you're in need of it, there will be a stop soon for the Saratoga area. And for technology, as of the 14th, there's been 18,056 laptops distributed and 1,460 MiFi devices.
Excellent. Thank you, Kimberly. So staff have been hard at work to distribute those materials. And as Kimberly noted, the Saratoga piece was only done because of your community advocacy. So as always, your voice matters. Be sure to bring to our attention anything that you see could be done better. And we'll be happy to pass that along. With academics, we have mentioned before that folks are receiving packets in the mail as supplements for you and in distance learning. you may want to note that we've brought up that going paperless is highly encouraged. It is quite costly for the school system to continue doing this. So far we have 10,709 families that have opted out. If you are able to do so, please make sure you do. The information for that is on the FCPS website. We've shared it in a previous video and happy to answer that in more detail in the Q&A if anyone has a question about that. The last packet will be sent out on June 3rd. With regards to special education, FCPS will be offering an extended school year to students whose IEP determines that they qualify for it. Some of that was presented in our last school board meeting as well. And that will be virtually offered to students from June 29th to July 24th. So be sure to be on the lookout if that's something your child's IEP covers. There will also be summer learning for preschool autism students that's going to be done virtually from July 2nd to July 30th. So we'll look forward to making sure our students are supported during that time before the next school year. Kimberly will go ahead and give us some updates on English language learning programs.
For English language learners, the language and literacy connections for certain English learners in grades 7 through 12 will be held Monday, June 22nd through Tuesday, July 14th. Oh, and Tuesday, July 14th in 2 sessions. So the morning session will run from 10:30 to 11:30, and an evening service will run from 7 to 8 p.m. Students may select one of 2 sessions. For more information, register, contact your ESOL teacher or visit the ESOL Summer Learning website.
Great. And just to wrap things up, we have some resources to share. We may share those at the end if we do have time. But without further ado, I do want to go into our discussion with our seniors about graduation, what's going to happen. You know, I'll mention as a board member this past week, staff presented to us the thoughtful proposals that they've been working on for some time about what the future can look like. And we had some votes. We decided 3 things so far, and then I'm going to hand it off to Dr. Ivey to talk through the process of how we got there. The first is that our graduates will have the opportunity to have a special time at their school with a limited number of family members to take senior pictures. We're excited to be able to offer that with safe social distancing. And they'll have the chance to have, you know, the cords and their cap and gown and everything else they'd need to make that a special moment. Second, we voted to approve videos that are going to be made to honor our seniors and you know, add memories and things like that has not been done before for our senior classes, and that will be sponsored by the school system. So we're looking forward to making that a special time and to capture those memories for everyone. And third, the school board voted not to finalize the decision about in-person graduation. In other words, that will be considered at a later date in the future, should it be possible that we host it. So it's not off the table, hasn't been ruled out. So with that, Dr. Ivey, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here this evening, and really want to thank you for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to talk about graduation. I just want the seniors to know that we share in your disappointment and recognize the disruption that this pandemic and the school closure has caused. June is our favorite time of year in celebrating and recognizing our seniors, and we really are trying to do everything we can to make this time memorable and also safe for you. There are 3 considerations that we took and we've kept in mind through any of our decisions. One was monitoring the health conditions. 2, to gain input from our students, parents, and staff. And then, of course, to provide the best experience we can without putting students, families, and staff at risk. So I think, Abrar, you shared the health data, department data, and unfortunately, our community, the virus is still increasing and spreading. And the health department predicts that this summer we could see another spike. And so we really had to keep that in mind as we figured out what it is we could offer and what we could do. And so we had many different types of activities on the table and to consider, but in the end, we had to consider the health conditions as well as not putting anyone at risk. And also being sure that we honor every senior in the best way we could. So we started this journey in late March and all through April. And it began by us asking the principals to just check in with their seniors and their parents. And, you know, some principals did informal surveys, some held class meetings, some checked in with individual students, but they gave us the feedback. In addition, I and Mr. Tyson, the Region 1 Assistant Superintendent, met with the seniors on the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee. And from the principal's feedback, after talking with their seniors and parents, and very loud and clearly from the Student Advisory Committee, we heard overwhelmingly that the group was not interested in a true virtual graduation, that you wanted that face-to-face experience. And you were willing to wait for it if you needed to, but that you wanted that moment to walk across the stage, you wanted that moment to celebrate with your friends. And so based on that feedback and then trying to see, well, what else could we do? In the meantime, in June, we developed a superintendent survey to go out because we weren't comfortable. And as you said earlier, that all voices were heard. And at each school, the information was collected a little differently. And so we wanted to put it out to all seniors and their parents. And so we did that. And we got back about a little, approximately 5,000 students, seniors responded, and 5,000 parents, give or take a few. And so we were pleased with that. And then on the survey, we did offer a face-to-face graduation, and we did not include the summer. And we got a lot of feedback from that. Why didn't you put the summer? And we didn't because we had that health department guidance and the data. And so, but we did ask, would you prefer fall, a winter, or a spring? And then we did ask about the virtual class of 2020 video. And we described the individual graduate photo recognition opportunity. And we asked for additional suggestions. And so out of that, overwhelmingly, the responses from that larger survey was that the majority of students and parents liked the idea of the fall ceremony, but there also were many that also selected winter and spring. The majority of both the parents and the students liked the idea of the video celebration. And then the largest support was for that individual graduate photo opportunity, the time to just come in, practicing social distancing and very strict health guidelines, but with the graduate dressed in cap and gown and regalia, could come in. If the senior comes in, could get their diploma. If not, we would mail it, and could have that opportunity. And you can imagine this is quite a large thing to organize and will take several days to complete. So we're going to try to do that for most of June, and then if possible in July if we don't finish. There were a lot of other suggestions that were made, and I want to just say some of what they are. One was hold it in the summer. Another was to stagger the graduations for smaller groups of students practicing social distancing, holding car parades in the school or down a main thoroughfare. making sure that whatever we do it with caps and gowns and cords and medals and diplomas, reconsidering senior dues to support graduation, considering providing earlier dates for military-connected families and also for students who are going into the military because the orders would be coming up very quickly after June. And just remembering whatever we do, that we include all students, all seniors, you know, those that are really active in school activities and those that are not, and just making sure that we don't leave anyone out. So in the end, and I want to just say, we did very much so consider the staggering the graduations in groups of 10, but the risk for that were considered to be too great. And when we have our social distancing rules of 10, that includes staff, you know, that need to be there to operate and make sure that it runs smoothly. So that's why we went with the individual photo opportunity for the graduate and their family. And then we did consider the car parades, but we also felt that the risks were too high for that, and it would be very hard to monitor and make sure, because even with anything that we do, we want to have health screening and questionnaires, and it was just too much of a risk. And so based on our guidance, we thought that the safest way to do this was to offer the 3 options that Abrar, you so beautifully outlined at the beginning. You know, the individual photo opportunity, the class video, and if at all possible, giving you the opportunity for a face-to-face graduation sometime next year. I do want to just add some things because I think there has been a lag in our communication, and as far as really outlining what it is we can do. And I really do think that now that we've made our decision and we've shared it with principals, you're going to be getting a lot of information from your principals. They are going to be giving you additional instructions. We'll have a whole process for you to return items to the school, pick up caps and gowns and all the things that go along with graduation. We are planning, every student will get a cap and gown and all just like you would have when we were doing a live graduation. We're still going to print programs so you can have it as a memento or a keepsake. And there are many other activities that they are planning for you. The sports nights and awards nights and celebrations for band, music, orchestra, theater, special hashtags, signs, t-shirts. A lot is coming, and because we really do want to fill that void, and we just had to take the time to figure it all out. I want to talk about senior dues. We are reducing senior dues, and so some will get a refund back. And I don't want to say the exact amount yet because that has to be approved yet, but it is greatly reduced. And the charge is only for the cap and the gown and, you know, the regalia, the diploma cover, etc. But because the plans have changed, the expense of this all is less. And we also recognize that times are challenging and hard financially, and so we want to recognize that. So your principals and your class sponsors will be sharing that with you. And so I think I'll stop there because I've talked for a long time, but I wanted to answer and give you as much information as I have, but you can anticipate that you will have lots more in information coming in the next few weeks, and lots of celebrations, because this is a class that truly has a story to tell, and it's something that you always will remember. And adversity can make us tougher, but it's just hard when you're going through it. And so take that from somebody who's been around a while and knows and understands, and too can feels your, I truly feel your disappointment, and we're doing all we can to honor you and make it the best that we can.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ivey. And honestly, I can attest to how hard she's been working on this. I mean, even weeks ago, she had it on her mind. And I will encourage you, I mean, on board docs where the school board meeting notes and attachments are posted, she put, there are a number of attachments about how thorough the process has been, feedback that's come from different groups, the survey results, and various other materials that will show you really how much effort has been put in to hear from everyone. And to your point, Dr. Ivey, we mentioned even to the senior class last week when I spoke with all of you in a different call, how important it is for us to be mindful of being representative of the entire senior class, right? And for each of you as officers who are good leaders of your community to be aware that it's not just the people who are always out there, right? Who you're aware of being active, but making sure we're looking out for everyone.
Right, and we also wanted plans that every community could do. And that, and as while every school has their own special traditions, that they do, and principals are trying to think of creative ways to do those, we wanted to make sure that there was some consistency and that they were activities that everyone could participate in.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give the opportunity for any of our senior class officers here, if you guys want to ask. I know we have representatives from almost all the high schools here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so, and we'll be doing a round robin after this with each individual one giving their own school updates. But in the meantime, if any of you have questions for Dr. Ivey, please go ahead.
So I put this question also in the Facebook Live chat room, so just ignore that later on when you go back and see it. But I was wondering if students will be giving specific time slots to take pictures at their high schools, and if all FCPS high schools are going to be participating in this, or if it's like an optional thing to do.
So this activity is not optional. So every high school will be offering that opportunity. And yes, you will have there'll be a sign up for you to sign up for a specific time slot. And there'll be very specific instructions and actually a health questionnaire to fill out for the senior and the family members that will be coming.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I see some folks typing in questions. So when you type them, go ahead and also kind of introduce yourself and what school you're from, and go ahead and ask your question. So Clark, please go ahead.
Hey there, everybody. My name is Clark T. Levine. I'm a senior class officer from Lake Braddock Secondary School. And I was just wondering if you're going to let the individual schools kind of determine how they go about each of the different senior events, since as you mentioned earlier, we each have our own senior processes and senior traditions and everything. And not every school functions the same?
Yes, the two things that will be consistent through for each school is the video and the individual opportunity to take the photo. We're going to ask schools to finalize their list of other activities that they're going to do, and we do have to get those approved by the health department, just to make sure that they are safe. So each principal will be working with their region assistant superintendent to go over their final list, and then we'll have to get it approved by the health department.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, Dr. Ivey, I'm Ronith representing TJ. I
Hi.
know a lot of the conversation has centered around graduation, but I was curious as to how prom factors in, if there's any county decision on that, and especially since a lot of, I know for my school, senior dues, some of the prom costs are attached with that, how that might work with the finances locked up and anything like that.
So thank you for that question. We mainly focused on graduation. As you know, unfortunately, we did have to cancel, all of the proms. That's why I didn't want to give you a final cost as far as senior dues, and we were trying to make that consistent across, all the schools. But we are also considering the very thing you shared. And so there's more to come on that, but recognizing that in a few cases, the prom costs were factored in to your senior dues.
Thank you.
Dr. Ivey, I have another question. So I'm Maeve, I forgot to say that before. I'm Maeve Hennessy, I'm from West Springfield High School.
Sure.
So I know that you even mentioned before that there's been lots of different options that schools have been talking about, like car parades or like coming by the school. But is there anything that county advises or advocates that the schools don't participate in based on health concerns or anything that just you guys are advising us not to try?
Sure. Well, one of the things actually were the car parades, just the long parades of cars and the fear of people getting out of the cars because they're excited to see each other. And of course, when a large group gathers, it's just so hard to control. So we did say that that we're discouraging that, and we're discouraging any kind of large group activity. And by large group, right now our guidelines are no more than 10. And they so very much want, if it's a group like that, to have very strict health screening done, because the risks are just so great with our continued spread in our area. And so, of course, encouraging as much as possible it to be virtual, whatever the celebrations are, and how we can do those in a fun way. And, but then also recognizing we're going to be quite busy with those individual photo opportunities. Because some classes, especially at our secondary school, are as large as 700 students.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Dr. Ivey. My name is Tariq. I'm from Annandale High School. I'm the senior class president there.
Hi, Tariq.
Kind of piggybacking on Ronan's question. So all of the money that we fundraise throughout the year for prom, since the prom is not even in the looks for what we're looking on planning to do, where would all that money go that the classes accumulated?
Well, and I think we'll have to look at each individual school, because in many cases, the prom money that is raised goes for the next class, or like the juniors will raise money for this, for the senior prom. And so it might be a little bit different at each of our schools. And that's why we're still trying to investigate how the best way to do it. But we do know we want to have a reduced rate for you. And it will have to just cover the bare minimums of what we're doing. And I will also, and I don't know if I said this, the video that is being professionally produced for each of you, that's being paid for by the county. And so you will not be charged. You don't have to order. In fact, it's going to be downloaded. You can download it. And so we wanted, that was kind of like our way of just celebrating you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And shout out, just to point out, Dr. Ivey, Tariq is actually one of the folks who reached out to me way early, as soon as closures happened. And that triggered my conversations with you way early on when we talked about this. So.
Sure. And I wish I could talk to each and every senior and have gotten their input, just on a personal level, but that wasn't possible. So we went about it the way we did and just trying to get as many voices as we could.
Of course. Anyone else?
Other questions?
I have a question, actually. I'm Annabelle. I'm from Woodson High School. I'm on their SGA. So in regards to like individual pictures at our own high schools, like, would it be an option to like help like maintain social distancing to like have it on like our like main athletic fields? Because we all have like our logo in it. I feel like it would be better in our cap and gowns to be like more outside rather than within the schools.
So I think both are being considered, and each high school is different because, I'm familiar with Woodson and how you get in and out of there and the parking lot and so forth. So we're leaving that up to the individual school. In some cases, they are going to do it outside, and it's logistically, how can we get people in and out quickly? I think a few may be using a stadium. Some are using the front part of a building, but at a place where it's significant, or that there's something symbolic about the school. A few are going inside, but not deep into the building, but right in the entranceway. And whatever we do, we have to have an inside and outside option because of weather. And we don't know, because it's over several days, we don't know how hot it's going to be or if it's going to rain, but just trying to do it in the safest place possible. But fields have been one consideration for sure. And I think it's something that the schools are finalizing. And I can tell you that Dr. Floyd and her team are definitely working, they just learned of this finally as a finalized plan on Tuesday. And I met with principals. So we've been talking about it, but it wasn't finalized until the school board gave us the okay on Monday. And so they're just logistically trying to figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Ivey, may I ask one quick question? I'm Helena Hardy, I'm Woodson's vice president. In regards to the video that everybody's making, is it going to be one video for all of the high schools or a video per high school, or what exactly is the video about?
Sure, it's a video per high school. So it's personalized for you. You will have an opportunity to upload a slide and a video, just a quick message for about 20 seconds. And then all of that will be put together. The comments and the video will not be on the live stream, but you will get that and you can send it to your friends and hear from everyone. There's also a chance for each school to highlight their own school, their logo, if there's a song, you can have messages from your class sponsor, your principal, other students, and so it is personalized. And in the end, it's a 2-hour video that you will get a link to, and we're going to live stream those. We wish that we could have done this in the beginning of June, but because of course, every company is now trying to help school districts, and you can just imagine how competitive it is. We aren't going to be able to stream it until June 30th, July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And so we just finalized that on Friday, and all of this will be coming to you in written format over the next week.
Awesome, thank you so much.
We're gonna, but it'll be special to your school.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Dr. Ivey.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. So I'm Madeline LeBeau from Chantilly High School, and a lot of students at Chantilly are really, really excited about the possibility of having an in-person graduation at some point during the next year. And I was wondering if once we are able to have in-person graduations, will FCPS create the schedule for when each school has it, or will each school find a date themselves?
So I think we have to work out those details, and it really will depend on the time of year. It is going to be at the high school, unless the high school has a small auditorium or stadium, and we may need to go to one of the larger high schools and venues, but it won't be at like a George Mason or Constitution Hall. And so I think we have to see what time of year it is to see what our options are as far as dates. We originally thought the fall. We even thought maybe perhaps on a Saturday where people could travel and come back. There's lots of options, and we'll be discussing those with the school board and with our principals to come up with the best and what our window is as far as healthy times when we think we can pull it off. Because we heard how important that is to both the students, you as seniors, and your families who've been waiting, 13 years to celebrate you. And so we're anxious to do that if at all possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Any final burning questions for the
I
sake of
actually
time?
have something in
All right.
Facebook.
All right.
So I think we have Rasha asked if students can't afford those that have I think she may be referring to senior dues. I'm not sure, but she says, I'm gonna just read it verbatim. If students can't afford it, can those that have already paid have the option to make a donation to help those that can't afford it at this time?
Wow, that's so generous. And I will just say that no one will be denied a chance to participate or to get their caps and gowns. And as we go through the process of trying to collect the dues, if there's a financial difficulty, you just have to let the school know. But I'll say it again, no one's going to be denied an opportunity to participate in our activities and to receive their cap and gown.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ivey, and for all your hard work to make sure that that's the case. So with that, we'll move to the next segment of our special Senior Sunday. We'll go around. Each school I know has some level of customized program or opportunity that their principal has brought to their attention or that they found out about. And we're very happy to have, like I said, representation from nearly every high school. So we'll go around. We can go ahead and start with Annandale High School. So Tariq or anyone else who's representing Annandale, please give us your school update.
Hello. So basically for our school update, I'm reading off an email right now that we got. We did get an update on senior dues. So senior dues were originally $60 and they have been reduced to $20. So senior dues for Annandale are $20. They're $20 now. That senior due covers our caps, gowns, and so basically in late June, we'll be able to go pick up a cap, gown, the tassel, the diploma cover, and all of our medals and cords that we've earned. That's Annandale's update.
Thank you. And Chantilly.
Hey guys, I'm Madeline LeBeau from Chantilly High School's class board. As of now, our class board is working on preparing our virtual graduation, so we're working on our videos and such for that. We haven't heard much yet, but I do know that we're having a date to drop off our laptops, textbooks, and other things from the school. And it sounds like we're also picking up our caps and gowns on that day, so that's really exciting. As of now, the students of our senior class are really working to make sure that our senior year is special, and many have organized virtual events for things that are important to them. So choir and drama and things like that. And also, I just want to give a really quick shout out to all of the teachers right now, because they are doing such a fabulous job making sure that we all stay connected and learning during this crazy, absolutely crazy time. So thank you to all of our teachers. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, Madeline. Edison, do we have, well, let's go to Fairfax High School.
Hi, I'm Emily from Fairfax. So far we've heard that anyone who paid senior dues already got a cap and gown ordered, and they're supposed to be coming in about 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. And then anyone else who hasn't, I guess we're going through the collection process. And then other than that, I know our SGA organized like lawn signs people could order and then pick up, and then also like a decision day video was made, but that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And I'm sure you'll continue to hear, as Dr. Ivey pointed out, from your principal. Falls Church.
Hi, my name is Cindy. I represent Falls Church. I'm the vice president. I will be reading off of the email. So the caps and gowns have arrived. They're still setting up a date for when we will be able to pick up. The senior dues have also been reduced to $50. They were originally $125. Other than that, they are planning on, I'm pretty sure we had orders made for yard signs, and also shout out to our sponsors who have been texting us and been trying to cheer us on. So yeah.
Thank you. Very glad to hear. Herndon?
Hi, my name is Iris and I'm from the Herndon High School SGA, and we have received an email from our principal just to say that we're getting more details in the beginning of this week. So that's pretty much the new update, but we do know that they're getting caps and gowns for everyone. And we also heard from our yearbook committee that they've started printing the yearbooks again, and that we'll receive them later in the summer, but they're still going to be distributed to the seniors as well.
Excellent. Justice.
So unfortunately, we haven't really heard much from our administrators or our sponsors, but I do know that we are working on it. My name is Carlos, by the way, I'm the president. So we're working on it right now, but we are very short on information.
Cool. So we'll obviously continue to be in touch, and hopefully you'll hear from your principal in the days and weeks ahead. Lake Braddock.
Hey everybody, it's me again, Clark T. Levine. So at Lake Braddock, we've done a lot so far. We are really caring about our seniors and trying to make them happy and boost their morale during this hard time. So for starters, in the beginning of the year, our wonderful PTSA made little yard signs for everybody. It just says like class of 2020 graduate, and you had to pay for them. But now for any senior who didn't order one or who can't afford to pay for one, we're just going to give them one for free. And then also we organized these little banners. They're about this big. They're just little construction paper. And we gave to about 200 seniors, everybody who wanted one. And it was just kind of like a little thing they could hang in their window to show solidarity during this hard time. And we have a senior class Instagram page run by a couple of our seniors, where each senior is like spotlighted and recognized by what college they're going to, or if they're going to the military, trade school, basically whatever their post-high school plans are. And as class officers, we are working together to write a letter to our senior class and to keep them posted from the student perspective, as well as, of course, the administrative perspective. And at the front of our school, we have a big bear statue, which gets painted regularly throughout the year. But with COVID and everything and the closures, it hadn't been painted since February. So one of our seniors decided to take the opportunity to go and paint it with a little inspirational message for our seniors. And we're also getting new class t-shirts for everybody, for all 681 of our seniors. And we're getting them each a keychain. Anything we can do to recognize our seniors, we're happy to do.
Beautiful. Thank you, Clark, for that update. All right. So Langley.
Yeah, hi there. I'm Kavi Vij. I am the class vice president for Langley High School. And so far, we've recently gotten in communication with our class administrators to try to put together some stuff, whether it be senior gifts or anything else like that. However, that was very recent. That was like Friday afternoon. But other than that, tomorrow we are planning to have a meeting, senior class meeting with our class principal. So we're gonna have more kind of knowledge and more information after tomorrow's meeting, which I'd love to pass on.
Perfect. Thank you, Javier. And that sounds good. We can follow up for sure. Lee.
Hi, I'm Hannah, SGA co-pres at Lee, and so far SGA has been working on doing an Instagram page to highlight the seniors and what their plans are for the next year. Our activities account, their Twitter account, has been doing posts to honor all the senior athletes from the spring. So all the senior athletes got to send in their picture and then kind of like a quote to talk to future athletes, kind of just to like honor their time and not being able to finish their season. And our administration's also working on a virtual senior awards ceremony, and where like the traditional presenters for all the scholarships and awards will film a video and they'll kind of recognize everyone through that. And Sandra, do you have anything else?
Hi, so I'm Sandra. I'm the senior class president for 2020 at Lee. And we've been brainstorming some ideas. And tomorrow, we're starting our voting on our senior superlatives to add some normalcy to the time we're at right now. And I know everybody's enjoying them at my school because, I hope you didn't hear that, because everyone's getting all of their posts out, so showing what they want to run for. I know that a company has offered to sell some yard signs to us as their seniors, and our class office, as well as sponsors and our graduation speaker. Can you hear me? Okay, great, sorry. And as for the speakers at graduation, they've reached out to us to make sure that they'll be available to just help us out in these troubling times. And we've been just finding ways to contribute to what we'll leave behind at the school, whether it be like a plaque or some sort of gift to our school. And we've been working on a video for all of our seniors.
Great. And hopefully that'll become easier with the support of FCPS doing that too. Yeah, great. So we have, I believe we said Marshall. Let me see here. Yeah, Marshall, Savan had to hop out. Sovan had to hop out. Do we have anyone else from Marshall here? Okay, I can go ahead and read his piece. He says, for Marshall, to celebrate seniors, clubs and teams have been distantly celebrating seniors by dropping off posters and posting on social media. Students have created social media accounts where other students can post pictures and videos from the year to reminisce. And our principal is co-hosting a call with seniors this week to discuss celebratory plans. Great. Mclean.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sachi Deeker. I'm senior class president of Mclean High School. We've been working pretty hard during this pandemic. First of all, there will be a drive-through late May to pick up caps and gowns and cords, and we'll include a special gift in there, which I can't reveal yet because it's a surprise. We're working on a virtual prom video, which you will be able to, you can send in your, I don't know if you, on TikTok, you kind of drop makeup and then well, this is for girls, of course, this is for guys and girls, but we're trying to do that and trying to make a long video. So it's the virtual prom. We're also working on a senior video that we've mentioned. We've also done a senior class of 2020 commitment Instagram where friends or yourself, you can submit a picture and you can basically, you'll honor your friends or honor yourself for where you're going to college or if you're going to the military, whatever your plans are for the future, we're doing that. We're also doing weekly calls with the president pretty much every Friday. So we keep on trying to give updates through our Instagram. We're also working on the senior courtyard that we've promised, but that it's been delayed a little bit, but it's there to honor the seniors. We're also doing a Mclean senior raffle. So basically our principal, Dr. Riley, is into crafts. So she's making her personal Mclean High School pillows that you could get if you get chosen from the raffle. We're also planning kind of a school run 1-year reunion that'll resemble prom, hopefully. We're kind of thinking about something like that if prom doesn't work out. And also don't forget to report where you're going for college for our school magazine, The Highlander, which you probably got an email about. So that's about it. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Sachi. Mount Vernon.
Hi, my name is Alex Solomon, and I'm the senior class president at Mount Vernon High School. So right now we have an Instagram account that we're updating continuously for all of our seniors who've committed to either colleges or the military. And then we're gonna definitely take our pictures at the school, but we need to get everything verified by the county and the school board or whatever. And during that time, people will actually drop off their laptops and pick up their diplomas. And we're mapping out a way so that there's no contact and it's like an easy flow so that people aren't coming in contact with each other. And then the theater department did some videos about their senior year and just like what we can do moving forward. And they're even thinking about doing a play that's online, like a Zoom kind of play. And I thought that was really interesting. And the band is also doing some superlatives.
Excellent. And anyone from any of the schools, feel free to jump in if you want to add anything. Thank you, Alex. Let's hear from Robinson, which by the way, was where I graduated not too long ago.
Go Rams.
Yep.
I'm Sophia. I'm from the SGA of Robinson and also SAC. So our school has been doing a lot to honor the different clubs and athletics for Robinson. They've been doing a lot of drive-through senior nights, and our athletic department has been doing a lot of senior spotlights on Twitter where they just shout out all of the seniors who didn't get to have their senior night. And we also have, like very similar to a lot of the other schools, an Instagram account where we've been shouting out all of the seniors and their post-graduation plans. In terms of like dues and cap and gown pickup, we still are waiting to get a bit more information from our administration, but we are going to try and get more communication from them soon. So, yeah.
South County.
Hi, I'm Angelica. I'm a senior class officer. So we have had quite a lot of things going on. So starting this week, we have locker unification. So they're breaking it up by last names, and they have times throughout the day where you just open your trunk. They have, like, they've gone through and emptied all the lockers, and they have your things ready to go so they can give those to you. Caps and gowns will have like a similar pickup like that, but that'll be early in June. We have a banner being made with all the seniors' names. I think Lake Braddock, we got the inspiration from you guys. So we're doing one of those. The PTSO has done yard signs, and those are being I think picked up sometime this week. And then the PTSO is actually kind enough to be giving gifts for each senior whenever we get our diplomas. So we don't know what that is yet, but it's very sweet of them. And then on the social media side, we've had a lot of we've made a decision day video for all of our athletes that are committed to colleges. We've done a lot of senior shout out videos for activities and sports for the spring. We run the Battle of the Fans, which is Patriot District. We're doing a trick shot competition. So that's been pretty fun. And then we also have the Instagram page. And then we are also doing senior superlatives, which are actually finishing up this week. So those will be announced sometime this week. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Angelica. So South Lakes.
Hi, I'm Yara from South Lakes. I'm a member of the executive council. And so pretty much we got an email from our principal, Ms. Retzer, a few days ago, May 13th to be exact. And it's regarding the choices made by Fairfax County. So she pretty much said that the celebration video and the individual graduate photo opportunity will be made a positive experience. So they're working to make sure that we all get a good experience out of it. And she also said that she'll be sending out an email early next week, so sometime soon, regarding logistics for these events and a timeline for things like the retrieval of school items and the distribution of caps and gowns and everything like that. And she also said that staff went in to film videos for the senior award slideshow as a way to kind of recognize many achievements virtually. because we can't hold it in person, obviously. And also we've been holding coffee and parents meetings with each of the grade levels with information on like how things are working. And we're planning to hold more as more information comes out regarding future events and everything like that. And also there is a video that is made by our school with messages from staff and teachers. And they kind of broke it up and they keep posting them on social media and the website every like week or something like that. So it's kind of nice to get a little message from the teachers and staff. So yeah.
Great, thank you.
I'm also from South Lakes. I'm on the class council. My name's Hannah Waller. So basically we've heard that we're going to be doing a live sort of ceremony. And right now we're in the process of nominating speakers, both student and teacher. And then also to piggyback of what Yara was saying about the coffee and parents, we've been also doing a couple things with local businesses. They've been giving us some type of gifts for the seniors. So for example, a local yoga studio held like a free class the other day, and that was really nice. And they've been doing stuff like that for us. So right now we're still in the process of getting a gift for seniors, and it might be in the form of a t-shirt or some type of, I don't know, something that we're just gonna send out to our fellow seniors.
Okay, thank you, Hannah and Yara. Let's hear from TJ, which is also where my sister went, but go ahead, Ronit.
Hey everyone, my name is Ronit. I'm going to TJ. I'm the student body president there. I'm really grateful for the administration at TJ. Our principal has been very supportive of trying to plan something for us seniors, and we've had a lot of meetings over the past month. And we've been brainstorming with the senior class council about things that could be done. Already with the senior class council, we've made a yearbook video, kind of highlights our 4 years and the different important events like homecoming or field trips. We also have an Instagram page for our college destinations. Our athletic trainer also was like really nice. They made a YouTube video highlighting each senior for senior night, and that was like really nice. And then something new that the SGA is working with our PTSA to create a virtual bingo where there'd be like a lot of gift cards, like Amazon gift cards for people for all grade levels, not just seniors. So that's something fun that we're looking forward to.
Excellent, thank you. And West Potomac.
Okay, so earlier this year, like when quarantine first started, our staff sent out a video to everybody, basically congratulating the class of 2020. On Instagram, we've also had like, it's called Instagram yearbook, where you can DM them and submit like a picture of yourself and a little like thing about where you're going and what you're studying. The athletics department also did a similar thing. On June 4th, which was supposed to be our initial graduation, it looks like they're planning to give out all the cap and gown in like a little senior goodie bag, doing sort of like a car procession, and you can decorate your car. I assume there will be specific times for that. Our principal will be holding like a Blackboard Collaborate meeting to give more details and stuff like that later this week. And then the week of June 8th, it sounds like that's when we are going to do our photo opportunity with your family and stuff like that. We have also gotten senior dues refunded some, and yeah, that's about it.
Thanks, Jess. Let's hear from West Springfield.
Hi guys, I'm Maeve Hennessy. I'm one of the SGA officers at West Springfield. So this isn't, it's not 100% official yet, but it's something that has been mentioned by a lot of the groups at my school. So something that we're thinking of doing is like a pickup day outside of the school, kind of like a yard sale with caps and gowns, with the yearbook, with our senior newspaper edition, which we do every year. And so our all-night grad party always raises like thousands of dollars worth of prizes. And so something we're thinking of doing is like having all the prizes out, and I'm not exactly sure how they're going to give it to the people who paid their all-night grad party dues, but that's something they've been talking about. And that day they would students would also drop off their laptops and their textbooks. We're also doing, so we have these senior shirts that we got in the middle of the year, but we're also giving out like another senior shirt to all of the seniors, like no matter if they paid or not. So that logo is going to come out soon, but we're not sure what that's exactly is going to be. The class officers are working on that. So we also have the Instagram that's been having senior shout outs for when they're going to college next year. And then we also have a senior sports video to honor some of those seniors who didn't get their senior night. And we're thinking about doing a senior sunset, which is, it's kind of specific to our school because we did a senior sunrise event at the beginning of the year. And so our plan was to do one on the football field for a senior sunset to like end the year. But now we're thinking of doing something like a drive-in or a video, or we're not exactly sure, but something to honor our tradition.
Thank you, Maeve. So 2 more left. Let's hear from Westfield. Wait, yes, Westfield.
Hi everyone, I'm Bella Rubigeno and I am one of the class board members for the senior class of 2020, obviously. So thank you so much to our administrative team at Westfield, especially Ms. Norris and then Mr. Barrows and Mr. Donnelly for keeping up with school and making sure that everything's working fine and keeping up with our senior class. We've been having weekly senior letters be submitted to both parents and students through either your school email account or also your personal if your parents signed up for our Westfield live weekly letters. So that has all of our information that we're trying to make public as much as we can. We've also been able to decrease our senior dues down to $50 now, which will have all of our cap and gown issues. And then we're hoping to have that as a distribution later in either the end of this month or in June, depending how the company is, because factories are still working things out. So additionally, with yearbooks, those will also be coming out later in June, sadly. But for seniors, we're also trying to make sure that everyone has sort of a voice in what we want to do for our end of the year. So our Westfield Live YouTube channel is trying to do a whole senior collaborative thing. So make sure that you send in a video for Westfield Live at Gmail because they're looking for pictures. That way we can commemorate all of our seniors. And we're also doing our senior superlatives as well, which is through a Google form, which is also in our senior letter. And we're just working through everything and making sure that you all are having a good time, even though it's our last year. So thanks for keeping up with us. And additionally, we're trying to have a baccalaureate that we would have had before graduation. And so then that'll be a Sunday a few weeks from now. So stay tuned with our weekly newsletter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bella. Last but not least, Woodson, my base school, actually.
Hi, so I'm Annabelle. I'm from Woodson. So a couple of things we've been doing is we have a balloon day account. So it's like where people are sharing their plans for the following year. We've been doing this thing called flocking. So you get like little yard flamingos and it says like celebrating class of 2020. So that's being passed around. It's really fun. People are doing like individual prom stuff and they're posting that, they're sharing it. And then we also have like a weekly morning announcements happening. So like people doing quarantine activities can submit that and that'll be shared every Tuesday. Our cap and gowns have been ordered, but I don't think anything has been communicated regarding reduction in senior dues. Our athletic department, they've been doing virtual senior nights. They've been posting like a little like senior spiel per senior per sport. And then they're hosting like a video call with the team, the athletic director, and fellow coaches to celebrate seniors. And that's it for now.
Thank you, Annabelle. So if our viewers didn't notice, everyone has their school swag on. So if you want to just show off your swag, I will, I'm wearing what I would have worn to all of your graduations. So I'm also really sad that I won't be able to be on that stage to shake all your hands and congratulate you, but we're excited to see the many things that are going to be happening and looking ahead to the future. I will say for today, as I mentioned, we do have a very special guest who is lurking in the background right now, and I'll be introducing in just a second. He actually is a graduate of Fairfax County Public Schools, class of 2007 from Centerville. This is someone who is a commercial filmmaker. He was a producer on MTV's Ridiculousness for a few seasons and produced for YouTuber FouseyTube. He is currently directing a documentary for Netflix on the NBA summer training camps. He used to work at Nickelodeon and has worked with big celebrities like DJ Khaled and Post Malone, in addition to directing the TV show Insecurity. So hopefully someone to hear the journey from and get excited to welcome Eli Balouche Thank you so much for joining us in today's session and addressing our seniors.
Hey, you guys. Hello. How's everyone doing? I want to, first of all, congratulate you guys on this huge benchmark. I got 2 screens going, so if my eye lines are off, I'm looking at you guys and I'm trying to look at the webcam.
You're good.
But awesome. I want to congratulate you all on this incredible benchmark. I want to say things are gonna just get better from here, but I think we all know things are only going to get harder. But I don't want you guys to lose hope. I don't want you guys to lose hope on that. I want to just do a little background about myself. I'm a filmmaker based in LA, but I was born and raised here in Fairfax. I bounced around here for about like 20 years. We lived in Springfield. Oh, first of all, is Centerville High School even present right now? I didn't, like I was lurking earlier. I didn't really hear the roll call of like Centerville, but okay. But anyway.
Here, I did say, by the way, we got representation from every single high school except Oakton and Centerville. So,
Oh,
but it's okay. You're a token for today.
What is like Westfield here though?
Westfield here?
Because we don't really,
Oh, whoops. Yeah, we did talk about that. Should we kick them out for a sec? Or?
I would be happy if you did. But yeah,
No, we love them too. Go ahead.
I bounced around a lot here in Fairfax. I lived in Reston, Springfield, and then we settled. My family has been in Centerville for the last few years. After high school, I went to community college. Shout out to Nova. Anyone that's going to Nova and anyone who's like confused about their future, I highly encourage you to attend Nova Community College. I'm a huge advocate of that. I transferred to Mason. And then during that time, I was working for this congressman from our district in Capitol Hill in the House of Representatives. And then I was like, because I wanted to do politics, I wanted to do law. I was like, that's my future. And then spending time on the Hill as a staff assistant, I was like, oh man, this is not what I want to do. And this is not who I want to be around. And I had a passion for film. And, so I transitioned. I went to film school. I dropped out, left George Mason, went to film school in Chicago. Busted my ass off and landed an internship with Nickelodeon right out of school. So I flew out to LA. After my internship, I kind of like, and it was really hard because like, like Fairfax is incredibly diverse, and like looking around right now at like all the screens and everybody, I'm just like incredibly proud of like the diversity in this call on this room. And that's one thing that I really love about Fairfax County is the like massive ethnic and racial diversity that we have. And, but one thing that always kind of was hard for me was being a person of color in Los Angeles without the connections and network that people would have from other regions of the country. Fairfax is mainly a very IT-driven consultant, law, political town. It's an academic town as well. So it wasn't like there were many of us in Los Angeles in the Hollywood industry. But I was there, and then someone connected me with this YouTuber, and we started doing, he needed like a producer, and we started doing like these like really dumb prank videos. And we thought they were dumb, and they were fake too. They were like, anytime, okay, right now, you guys, disclosure, anytime you guys see a prank video online, it's fake. Anytime TikTok pranks, YouTube pranks, Facebook pranks, they're all fake. So we would pay these guys like $20, these girls like $20. Hey, we're gonna jump out of a bush, scream, here's $20, sign this NDA form where you can't say anything or we'll sue you, but we couldn't because we didn't have the money to sue anyone. But anyway, so we would upload these videos and overnight it would be like 5 million views. And we're like, well, okay, let's do it again. Upload it again, 10 million views overnight. Upload it again, and we would get like 20 million, 100 million views on certain videos. And that kind of led me into, and then, that kind of opened doors for us. We amassed like 10 million subscribers, like 1.2 billion channel views. We start getting meetings with all these like production companies, with CW, with MTV, with all these companies that kind of wanted us to pitch them our shows. And then I kind of transitioned into MTV, working there. I left YouTube and did more traditional media. And then recently I kind of left and did my own thing. But, I come back every month. My family's still here in Fairfax. My parents, my sisters, my cousins, everyone's here. So every month I try to come back and just hang out with the family. But I think throughout my journey, I learned a lot of things the hard way. And as much as I want to like encourage every other young filmmaker to follow their passion and join me working in the entertainment industry, I just want to say it takes a lot of hard work. It's incredibly tough and difficult, but it's definitely possible. And this is one thing I love talking to high school students and college students about this. And I know everyone, I know like right now, like the Michael Jordan documentary is about to be on, and I know Insecure is going to be on in a little bit. And I know we're all trying to like leave this. But one thing I love telling young students is that if you like, and this is just two individuals that want to be in the entertainment industry. If you want to be in the entertainment industry, but you don't feel like you're a creative, like you don't feel like you're a writer or a director or an actor, but you still want to be a part of it, the whole like the gatekeepers of Hollywood, the people who make the decisions, the executives, none of them went to film school. None of them have art degrees. All these studio heads, producers, executives of Warner Brothers, Paramount, Universal, all these executives are, they have a background in communication and law and finance and business. And you can use those degrees in the entertainment field. And I highly encourage you all to look into that as well. But basically, you know, I want to let you guys know that, especially right now with everything that's going on, it's okay to relax for a little bit. You know, I know you guys have been working your asses off for the last 4 years, and I can't imagine how incredibly stressful and overwhelming it's been these last couple of weeks. And there's like this whole like Twitter grind culture, Gary V, like rise and grind culture, and that's incredibly toxic. You know, like it's okay to just like take a step back. You don't have to be productive 24 hours a day. Everything that's going on, it's just hard to, sometimes it's hard to get, I'm sure you guys can relate. I don't know, maybe you can't, but like there are days where it's just hard to get out of bed. You're like, what's the point? And that's okay, you know, focus on self-care. You guys deserve it. You all deserve it. But you know, these next few years for you will be a time of growth, time of exploration, time of making new friends. Literally all your friends in high school you will not be friends with in the next couple of weeks. You know, once you move forward, new friends will come. But yeah, you know, and right now is the time to, it's a time for solidarity and a time of working together to pull each other up. A rising tide lifts all boats. And for the future, you know, I encourage you guys to, you know, like rage against the machine, question the authority, your question all throughout college, challenge your professors, challenge your bosses, landing a job right now, it's much harder than it's ever been. And there's really no advice that anyone can kind of give you, except just, you know, keep some hope alive. And if any of you guys ever need anything, please feel free to reach out to me, you know, and do what I can to help. And I'm done.
Thank you so much, Ali, for those words from your journey. Certainly, you know, uncertainty has become the new normal, and the struggle along the path, you know, folks can see you with your many accomplishments and you're out there working with these folks and, you know, with these different accolades, but may not actually realize the struggle and the confusion or the self-doubt that was part of that journey to get to where you are. So I certainly want to give our students here the opportunity to ask any questions, if they have any, to Ali. Raise your hand if you.
It's late, and I'm sure everyone's just, you know, itching to hop off, you know.
So explain the background, because okay, Ali and I had a brief back and forth about this, and was wondering what it's about. So
I think it's very self-explanatory. Everybody, I'm sure everyone here knows of this awful human being, Joe Exotica. You know, Tiger Hunter. It's a Netflix series, and this guy is it's a character, but I always feel like he makes a great Zoom background. So whenever I have to like Skype in with like the executives at Nike or something, I'm like, hey, enjoy this guy right here. You know.
So I think the other thing, you know, Ali, you show us that it's okay to, you know, there are the times to be serious and to work and to grind and all of that, but it's okay to have a little bit of fun and not take yourself too seriously all the time, right? You need that for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, one thing that I've learned over the last, like, I graduated 13 years ago and I worked in IT for a bit during college. I worked in politics. I worked in all these different various industries, and I saw the shift and transition of like office culture as well. And you know, we all kind of, you know, started off suit and ties every day to work, and then like the years kind of went on, and then like everyone kind of lost the suit, everyone kind of lost the tie, and then now, like, you know, people work from home, or you kind of go into the office in like flip-flops and t-shirts, you know, and I feel like that's the future, is more like more of a casual, you know, workspace, but definitely don't lose any type of sense of humor in these work settings, in these corporate settings. It can really, really drain you if you know, if you kind of just do the 9 to 5 and you go in, clock out. But you got to find some type of joy and fun in it, you know, prank your coworkers and whatnot. But I see there is one question. I see one question in the chat.
Oh, good. Yeah, Sachi, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Sachi. I'm from Mclean. I'm actually moving to LA whenever I can. Well, I got into college there, but to try to kind of do entertainment. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And to do entertainment, actually. And I was kind of wondering, how do you know, LA is such a big city with so much competition. What is your advice on kind of beating the competition and trying to break into the field?
Man, it really is. And especially if you want to do like any talent-based, like writing or directing or cinematography. But like the entertainment industry is so much more vast and wide. There's agents, there's management, there's, you know, there's development, there's so many aspects to it. But one thing I always say is, like, one, you have to be very flexible with whatever you do, and you have to be able to pivot if need be, you know, but also you have to like pick one thing and just be good at that one thing, you know, whether, I mean, if you're going to be doing law and doing like entertainment law, or doing like, if you want to be a director, you've got to find one skill, one craft, and just be the best at it. And honestly, Los Angeles, Hollywood is very similar to, like, again, I've worked in politics, I've worked in corporate, I've worked in different various fields, and there's a common thread amongst them all, where it's nepotism, honestly. And I hate to say it, but it's like your networks, the friends that you make in college, you know, those are the networks that are going to extend into your career and into, because when I was working at Nickelodeon, or interning at Nickelodeon, I made a friend with one of my fellow interns. She went off to work at MTV, and then she was the one who called me up and was like, hey, you know, like, we're hiring a producer. Are you interested? You know, and it's like, one, you have to be good, because like if I did get hired, you don't want to like drop the ball. So work on that one craft, that whatever it is. And it's hard, especially for us introverts. It's very hard to like break out of that shell, be in an environment where you have to like kind of interact. But like, and you're going to hear this, I'm sure you guys have heard this all throughout school, and you're going to hear this for the next 4 years of your life. But like networking, like that word's always going to, but that all that means is just make friends, you know, like make friends with everybody, and just like, you know, follow them on Insta, like their crappy like dinner pictures that they make, like their cat pictures, like, you know, and then who knows, in the next 5 years, 2 years, whatever, if something comes across them, they'll think of you, because they're like, oh yeah, that's the girl that keeps liking all my pictures, you know, or that keeps like giving me the heart eye emojis, or all my cat's pics or whatever, snaps. So yeah, that's how I kind of did it. It was just kind of navigate just through like making friends in certain fields, and working that way, you know. It's very tough, but it's definitely doable. Like if I can do it, literally, like that's all I listen to. Like graduating film school, I always listen to Frank Ocean's Nostalgia Ultra. He has this one song where he just keeps saying like, if I can do it, if I could have done it, you could have. Like these guys are nothing that, you know, they can't do anything I can't do. So no one in Hollywood they can't do anything that you can't do, you know? So it's like, you got to have a little bit of arrogance and a little bit of self-confidence, but yeah.
Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you for the question. Sorry, I ramble a lot. I talk a lot.
It's good. I mean, it's important for folks to see, you know, someone who may not have ever imagined themselves here, right? Right now, Many of you are trying to plan what's next. It's probably stressful. I remember being a senior too and having expectations on you, especially if you did really well. You know, you all now have accomplished your, you got your degree. So what's next? What are you going to do in college? What are you going to major in? What classes are you going to take? It's a lot, and it can be a lot of pressure that's stressful and overwhelming. So no, Ali, I think, to your points, that a lot of it can be, as long as you work hard, paving it as you go. It's an important, experience to share. So.
Oh, for sure. And many people, like over the years, you'll definitely see yourself going through places where you didn't really think you would go. I wanted to come out of high school and go straight into law and politics. But I went completely 180 in a different direction, and I went into film, and I was doing like advocacy work at the time. But, I went in a different direction. I changed majors and fields when I just turned 21. So it was like, I should have been like graduating or like in my last semester of college at the time, but I just decided to like stop mid tracks and go in a different way. So even if you're in your first year of college, you feel like this major ain't working, like maybe I'm not a STEM major, maybe, this isn't for me. You have every other like avenue and every other possibility. That's why I encourage community college, explore your options.
So we have another question from Bella. Go ahead.
Hi. Oh, I thought someone went before me, but that's fine. So then I really loved how you talked about how you went through different kind of stages and you kind of exposed yourself to multiple things, which I think is really cool because sometimes as a senior, we get all this emphasis on like where you're gonna go. And like you feel kind of stressed out because you're like, is this gonna be my be all end all? So I really, really liked how you were really open-minded and how you enjoyed doing this whole variety of different things. So I was just wondering, you're currently doing what you love, but like, what did you like about the other things that you exposed yourself to? And then what do you think is next? Do you think that you're going to stay in this industry, or might you like revisit some of the other things you were doing? Just wondering.
No, for sure. I think at the time, my parents were refugees. They came to the States from Afghanistan in 87. So immigration was a huge thing. Immigrant rights were a huge driving factor for me to want to do law and want to get into politics. So that, I feel like that aspect, but then once I was kind of in the system, I kind of saw how the bureaucracy of everything it's discouraging. It was like straight up, it was, I was like, oh man, like I was like, even God willing that like things open up, doors open up and I get to where I want to get to, like, I feel like nothing will be able to like happen. So, and I just kind of and then I got to a point where I'd be on the train to DC at my like dream job at the time. It was I just left. I got an internship on the Hill and it moved into a full-time staff position. And I'm like on the train, I'm like, I'm going to my dream job, literally like this is what I dreamed of. But I'm like, why do I feel so miserable? And I feel like that's what I kind of focused a lot on. Like I shouldn't be dreading going to work or doing what I want to do. But it's also like at the end of the day, it is a necessary step. It is like you got to do some grunt work. You have to pay your dues. And so that's how I kind of like justified it. And I feel like I want to take aspects of like working with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation that I work with, JDRF, and their advocacy and the politics that drove me into politics and law. I want to take from those aspects and kind of like bring it into storytelling. I love storytelling. So I was like, I want to continue with film. Right now I'm doing a lot of commercials and I want to like transition slowly out of commercials into like feature films and more narrative, so I'm doing this documentary right now, so more into like longer form content. So that's the direction for the time being.
Thank you, Ali. And to be respectful of your time, I know, you hopped on and I'm sure you have iftar now. Tariq, I think, had a question. I believe he was following you or had known about some of your work before.
Oh, no way.
Tariq, go ahead.
My bad, I'm just now breaking my fast. But yeah, my name is Tariq. I didn't know about you. I used to watch Fuzi from like the old days from like the Tubi and family, but besides all that, how is it? I'm going to college to major in performance, theater performance specifically.
Oh, nice.
So I was just kind of wondering, how was it like networking and like breaking into the industry in LA, even coming from the DMV, and making those connections that kind of like helps you get to where you got to be?
It was, I'll be honest, like when I moved to LA, I didn't know a single person. Like I land there and I'm like, I don't know anybody here. I'm just going to take a cab. This was before Uber. I was like, I'm just going to take a cab straight to my internship, you know? Like I was like, I don't know anybody. But one thing I started doing was creating my own projects, and especially for anybody in the arts that want to pursue the arts, whether it's music or any performance arts, you'll have more power if you have if you create your own projects, and that way it's like clout chasing. Honestly, it's like networking is all clout chasing. Like right now, like it's social media clouts, right? It's like, oh, how many followers do you have on TikTok? How many followers do you have on Instagram, on Twitter? How many subscribers do you have? So that was like later that I kind of like bumped into that. But, you know, in the real, like outside of like digital media and social media, other type of clout chasing is like, who do you know? Where do you work? Where have you worked at? You know, what are you doing? So going into that field, you want to kind of like, I hate to say it, but you have to like kind of create this very surface level, like you have to like chase accolades a bit, you know, chase critical acclaim, like something where it carries weight for you. And that's like the most practical advice I can give is you want to be able to like, all right, let's say you graduate college, you're now in Los Angeles. You want to be like, okay, here's my resume. This is what I've done in college. I did this play. I wrote this play. Here's a link to what I did. Here's the stage setup, whatever it is. Here's some of my short films I did. You want to have enough in your bag to be like, I have credibility, and you know, that's why you should hire me, you know. And that's kind of like, you know, how it is for other fields as well. Like, you know, when you graduate college, you have a resume, like a printout resume, but like for the creatives, you need like a portfolio. That's your resume. Like whether it's, if you're a musician, here are all my tracks. If you're a filmmaker, here's all my videos. If you're an actor, very similar to that. You know, here's the videos I've done, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you watching the Fusi Network, man.
Great. So thank you so much, Ali. I'll let you go. I know, you know, you pointed to the importance of confidence, and sometimes folks, even if you don't have it, right, you kind of have to project it, and it can be tough and like we said, uncertain and unclear. And as you move ahead, you've accomplished so much. So be sure to relish and be proud of yourself for that. And then moving ahead, you know, don't feel that you're alone in your potential kind of confusion or uncertainty or even insecurity along the way. So Ali, I don't know if you want to say anything closing out here, but I want to be mindful of your time.
Look, again, I'm really proud of you guys, the work that you guys have done, the journey that you guys have gone through. You know, it's, and I hate this because like I get an email like twice a day from some corporation being like, during these uncertain times, and every ad's like and I hate that like phrase, uncertain times, but it literally is. I don't know what else to say right now. Besides that, just keep some hope alive, man. Hope, like, you know, God willing, things kind of get better and we can all go back to like school, like the actual physical, you know, classrooms and whatnot. So, and just do not burn yourself out. Do not burn yourself out in college. Do not burn yourself out over the summer. Take some time, enjoy yourself, treat yourself, and like focus on some self-care. And there's no such thing as too much self-care, not in my book. But thank you guys for having me. I apologize if I went on for too long, but
no.
You know,
thank you for everything you've had to offer.
Of course, it was a pleasure seeing you all, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ali.
Bye, guys.
So as I mentioned, guys, Ali is one of Fairfax County's grads who, you know, started off with an uncertain path and made it to be big in Hollywood. So just wanted you to have that kind of preview of, you know, what that could look like even for you now, maybe not knowing necessarily what path you want to go, or maybe being so certain about it, right? Just like he was. And seeing that many different things can happen moving ahead, and that they're all exciting and whatever you end up building for yourself. So with that, as we conclude today, we did go a little bit over time, but I hope it was fruitful and you know, beneficial for everyone. I want to thank everyone who came out from Annandale, Chantilly, Fairfax, Falls Church, Herndon, Justice, Lake Braddock, Langley, Lee, Marshall, Mclean, Mount Vernon, Robinson, South County, South Lakes, TJ, West Potomac, West Springfield, Westfield, and Woodson. It was great to have almost everyone from the county represented through your senior classes. Thank you, Dr. Ivey, so much for tuning in and giving us your time. We're gonna wrap it up with a small Mad Lib here. I know we're gonna do this game. We're gonna give a final shout out to the senior class. I'll start us off with a word, and then each person in the lineup will give another word to finish the sentence. And so we'll see what we end up with as we wrap up tonight. Before we do that, everyone make sure you tune in for our QuaranSTREAM. We do these every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. You can ask your questions in real time, and we have different topics and cover different things every session, and we'll be posting more information on what the next one will be about. So with that, I'll start with the
class of 2020
is super
Fantastic.
and
they are
amazing
and
I think Jess is next. Is she still here?
Let's go to Jimmy.
Inspiring.
And
Wonderful.
So
we
are
thankful.
Mic drop. Boom.
All right, hooray. Congratulations to the class of 2020. We're proud of you guys. Finish up that month strong, and we will hopefully see you somehow in videos or celebrating you virtually in the coming weeks ahead. So thank you guys. Have a good evening.